Welcome to Movie Roundup. Today we are recapping a Mexican comedy drama film, The Noble Family. Spoilers ahead, please take care.
The movie centers around a family of four, named the Noble Family. The father, Germán, is a wealthy Mexican businessman and has three children, Javi, Barbie, and Charlie. A few years ago, their mother died of a health issue. Ever since, the children have been living off the money from her trust fund. They throw extravagant parties, buy whatever they want, go on several vacations, and use the money carelessly. None of them have worked a day in their lives, which worries Germán, because someone has to take over his business one day. His only daughter, Barbie, is in a relationship with Peter, a failed entrepreneur who is 20 years older than her. He is hoping that marrying her will provide him with enough money to pay off his enormous tax debt. Barbie, oblivious to his actual intentions, is smitten with him. On the morning of her birthday, several workers come to decorate the house. She recognizes one of them as Lucho, the nephew of their family maid, who once lived in their mansion's servant quarter. In their teenage years, Barbie used to trouble Lucho by pretending to seduce him. Lucho doesn't like her because of her personality. In the next scene, we are introduced to the middle child, Javi. He is the only child who is mildly interested in taking over the business after his father. When he is not busy partying with his friends, he pretends to work for the company. However, he does nothing but come up with stupid and unrealistic ideas all day. That morning, he suggests they start a petrol home delivery service. Germán's business partner, Karim, makes fun of him for the absurd idea. Germán thinks that giving Javi a tougher task might help build his confidence. He hands his son a file to be sent to an associate the next day. Then, we are introduced to the youngest son of the family, Charlie. He is a college hipster who skips his classes almost every day. He also hits on his teachers and frequently gets in trouble because of it. Like his siblings, his lifestyle consists of partying and using his parents' money in vain. When Germán is in his office, he sees a bill for his children's expenses from the past month. Looking at the numbers, Karim warns him against his children's careless spending habits. Germán knows that he has to teach them the importance of money, but doesn't know how. That afternoon, Javi brings his friends on an impromptu trip to Miami, disregarding the fact that he was given an important task by his father. In the evening, Barbie is enjoying her birthday party. She sees Lucho on the other side of the room and asks him to clean a stain off her dress. Lucho sighs, thinking that she hasn't grown a day since they last met. Peter sees them getting close and interrupts the conversation. He, Germán, and Barbie go to a private room at his request. He then asks Germán's permission to marry his daughter. Germán, in turn, questions him how he's going to keep her happy when he doesn't have a job. Barbie interrupts and replies that they will use her trust fund. Knowing that Peter is not a good person, Germán disapproves of the marriage, but Barbie doesn't back down. She simply walks outside and announces that she and Peter are engaged and are soon to be married. Germán is already worried about his daughter, but the problems add up when he finds out Javi ditched the important meeting that he was assigned to. Right after, he gets a call from Charlie's college's dean, saying that he was caught having sex with his teacher and was given a high five. Was expelled. Because of the stress, Germán has difficulty breathing and is taken to the hospital. When his children come to see him, he pretends to have gotten a heart attack. He hopes that the siblings will feel responsible for giving him too much trouble, but much to his disappointment, they start arguing about a movie. When they leave, Germán makes it his mission to teach them a lesson, one way or another. He and Karim plan to fake a bankruptcy and send the three to live in the slums. In the following scene, Barbie is with her friend at a restaurant. Javi is partying with his friends as always, and Charlie is in a meditation class. Barbie tries to pay with her card, but it gets declined. She has never had such a problem, so she doesn't know how to solve it. At the same time, the brothers get a call asking them to return home immediately. By the time they gather at home, their phones have been cut, and a crowd is gathered outside asking for money. Germán arrives and makes them jump over a wall to escape. Once they are far enough from the house, he explains that he was cheated by Karim, who has fled with all their company's money. Germán is now broke and a wanted criminal for fraud in the third degree. Since the siblings are also the shareholders of the company, the police are looking for them. This means they will have to refrain from contacting all of their relatives and live a low-profile life. The siblings finally realize the seriousness of the situation. Germain brings them to his father's old house that is not listed under the company's assets. The house is in ruins, clearly abandoned for decades. The three, who have never stayed in anything other than luxury hotels, are beyond horrified. Germain claims they will have to renovate it with time as they earn money. They eat crappy street food for dinner while discussing finances. When asked how they will earn money, Germain suggests they work for the first time in their lives. The following morning, Barbie tries to take a shower, but the faucet only supplies dark brown, dirty water. She instead uses hand sanitizer to sanitize her entire body. Meanwhile, Javi goes to his friends and asks them for money, promising to return it as soon as their assets are unfrozen. However, the guys who used to party with his money refuse to help him. Somewhere else, Barbie calls Peter and tells him they have to postpone the wedding. After finding out about their situation, he is distressed that he couldn't profit off their money when he had the chance. Charlie is the only one who goes to look for a job. Upon his father's request, he easily gets a job at a bank. His boss is rude to him because the position was supposed to be her niece's. Rich nepotism beats regular nepotism. She threatens to fire him any chance she gets. When the family reunites at the end of the day, they hand Germain whatever money they were able to collect. Barbie has earned the most, but it turns out she sold Javi's watch for it. Moments later, their faithful maid Maggie and Lucho come to the house to help them. They also bring clothes for the family to change into. Lucho takes advantage of Barbie's situation to trouble her, as she did to him when they were teens. Upon his aunt's request, he provides her with a job as a waitress in a restaurant that he works at. When Javi asks if there is any work for him too, he is given the job of a public vehicle driver. The following day is Javi's first day of work. Everything goes well until another vehicle cuts in line before them, and the driver makes fun of him. Meanwhile, Barbie also goes to the restaurant and is disgusted to see chefs spitting on customers' meals. She is made to change into a uniform in a shared locker room. When she retaliates, Lucho claims that she deserves everything she is facing currently because of her unlikable personality. As much as I want to side with Lucho, this is kind of illegal. As time passes, the siblings start adjusting to their new life, cooking and cleaning for themselves. Although they struggle initially, they soon get a hang of it. Javi's rivalry with a bus driver continues for weeks. One day, he tries to race him to a parking spot and is stopped by the traffic police. Barbie is not very good at being a waitress. She is mean to the rude customers, which causes them to walk away without paying. Eventually, she learns to flirt for better tips. One day, Charlie makes a mistake at his banking job, and his boss calls him to her office. To his surprise, she closes the door and suggests he do something right to make up for the mistake. The two end up having sex in the office. One night after dinner, Germain discovers Barbie trying to make herself puke to maintain her weight. He is in shock to find out that she's been doing it since she was in college and was diagnosed with bulimia a few years ago. Barbie laughs, claiming that he never had time for his children, so she didn't expect him to care. Germain realizes how absent he has been from his children's lives until now. Somewhere else, Peter and his friend are talking about how he missed the chance to pay off his debts. He also tells the guy everything about the bankruptcy and Kareem fleeing with the money. Peter's friend doesn't believe him because Kareem is right behind them talking to someone. Peter registers that something is wrong and begins to investigate. The next day, Lucho and Barbie go to the market together. They bond while buying groceries for the restaurant and trying several street foods. Meanwhile, Javi finds his competitor bus driver and starts a fight with him. They suddenly stop after finding out they both read the books by the same author. On talking to each other, they learn that their ambition in life is the same, to start a business of their own. A few weeks later, the family earns enough money to be able to renovate the house. While they're at it, Germain mentions how bad Javi is at spelling things. Javi reveals that he is dyslexic and has gone to therapy for it. Germain is left speechless when told that he paid for the therapy sessions. He feels guilty about having not paid attention to his children's lives. The next day at the restaurant, the owner throws a party for his employees. Barbie and Lucho dance and eventually kiss. At the same time, Peter arrives at their house and meets Germain. He claims to know everything about Germain's lies and threatens to reveal the truth to his children. Scared that they will hate him after finding out, Germain asks him what he wants. Just then, Barbie arrives home and sees them. Peter informs the family that Kareem has returned with the funds, and their bank accounts are working again. This means that they can go back to their old lifestyle. The siblings are overjoyed to be able to return home. Germain, on the other hand, is blackmailed into staying silent. The family gets ready to leave, and Barbie meets Lucho outside. She reluctantly wishes him farewell and leaves. She believes that since Peter helped her in a situation like this, she cannot betray him and go to Lucho. The next day, Germain goes to the office and asks Kareem for a solution. He wants to keep the secret from his kids, but will at no cost allow Barbie to marry Peter. Barbie starts shopping for her wedding, even though her heart is not in it. She only does it because she feels indebted to Peter. In the following scene, Germain and Kareem are in a meeting with Peter and a lawyer. Germain offers Peter money to walk out of Barbie's life. However, Peter is adamant about wanting to marry her. In the end, Germain has to sign a contract that says Barbie's husband will be authorized to use as much money as he likes from her trust fund. He still hopes that Peter won't be the said husband. Following the meeting, Germain goes to meet his family maid, Maggie. She advises him to tell his kids the truth, because the longer he hides it, the longer they will take to forgive him. Germain trusts her and decides to do the right thing, but he is unaware that somewhere else, Peter is proposing to his daughter. He asks her to sign the marriage papers immediately because he cannot wait anymore. Barbie is nervous and unsure if she even wants to marry him. Still, she follows his lead and goes to City Hall. Germain calls his sons and asks them to meet him immediately. However, when he calls his daughter, Peter picks up and cuts the phone call. Germain contacts Barbie's friend and finds out she is about to get married. He, along with Javi and Charlie, rush to the City Hall to stop her. They arrive seconds before she signs the paper and are able to stop her. Germain finally reveals that they were never bankrupt. He lied to them because he wanted them to know how difficult it is to earn money. He also reveals that Peter only wants Barbie's money and has been blackmailing him. The siblings are furious at their father for lying to them. They simply walk away without saying anything. After the commotion, they decide to move into the old house that they were renovating. They refuse to take Germain's help and build a life on their own. They work hard, but their father is not there to see it. Javi, along with his fellow bus driver, open a car wash. His old friends try to reconcile, but he dismisses them. Similarly, Charlie finds a girlfriend of his own age and is in a happy relationship. Barbie also goes back to Lucho and starts dating him. On Barbie's birthday, everyone gathers at the house to celebrate. Someone knocks on the door, and Barbie opens it to see her father outside.
Thank you for
watching. He
watching.
wishes her happy birthday.
Please
and
like,
is about
comment,
to leave,
share,
but his
and
children
subscribe
call
our
him
channel.
inside, and the
See
family
you soon.
finally reunites.